Hi, my name is Joe. Welcome to Yerevan, Armenia. I'm at the market in Yerevan. One of the things I ended up doing in my life, kind of accidentally, was I got my first job making pizza. Loved it. A lot of fun. Smelled great. Free pizza. I've never had a job I didn't like. Even though I'm retired and I talk a lot about not needing to work every day, I actually really like working. So I make pizza, and then I move on to the next thing. Worked there about 6 months. Then I get a job at the airport and get my pilot's license, and then I move on from that. I go abroad and I start teaching English. After doing that a couple years, I come back to America and I drive the city bus. Now, I already noticed when I was in college and when I started working that things didn't sound like they did for my parents and grandparents. It didn't sound like you were gonna get a job and keep it for 30 years. It didn't sound like people were getting out of college with their degrees and instantly getting 70,000 and up per year jobs, and they were secure jobs. It sounded like things were different, which they were. So I was already kind of hearing rumors that the jobs education was not going to be exactly like it was back for our parents' generation. So I already kind of had this hint that things weren't going to be stable for me. So sure enough, I start working and I moved job to job to job to job. And then I started thinking about it. I thought this was kind of a good method of, once you knew you could do something, once you knew you could make pizza, then you go on to the next thing, like a secretarial job, or I was working at the airport as a secretary. Then you go on to the next thing, you go abroad and you teach English. Then you go on to the next thing and you drive a bus. It's very easy to drive a city bus. So I was, getting back to the technique part, it was as if you could always go back to those jobs. So once you feel secure and you know you can get a job again, I know I could go back and drive a bus again. I could go back and teach bus driving again. I could go back to the airport. I could go back to making pizza if I had to. So I'm not saying don't bail on people, don't bail on your commitments and things like that. But what I'm saying is, once you know you can do something, that's the time to try to do the next thing. That's the safest time. That's the next time to do the next thing is when it's safe. Don't wait until you absolutely need to go to the next job and you're absolutely broke, but finish your contracts, finish your commitments, but when you get a chance in your free time, look for the next thing and see however you want to describe it, how high you can go or how broad you can go, but work your way up the levels, and you can always go back. It's a way of living that is like, you feel safe, but you're making incremental progress.